the industry sometimes can get very hard. You feel a little, you need a little break. But it was in my mind. With all the fantastic developments in tech right now, of course, we need to learn. Kamusta? All right. I just want to say today has been a roller coaster day, and I've had a lot of mixed emotions. Like, on the one side, it's a regular day with all my interactions with my colleagues. And as you know, when you're running a business, there's always challenges, but then you need to put yourself together, make sure that you do your best to solve those challenges for the day. And I did. I feel like I did. On the other side, I've also had some difficult conversations with some of our colleagues. Even though it's all professional, it also sometimes takes a toll on, both sides. But then I also received a very good news that I just got renewed as a Microsoft MVP, and I'm very happy about that. And also, I'm very proud considering that a year ago, I actually thought about taking a little bit a break from doing a lot of tech community works. It has been a crazy year. Last year has been a very difficult year for many reasons. Actually, I just wanted to share that today is also a year ago since I lost my pet, who I was very, 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 very attached to. His name was Frankie, and I miss him a lot. And that has been kind of like some of the hardest things I have to go through last year, apart from many, many other things. Exactly a year ago today, I was telling myself that I need to take a step back and maybe not do any community works, even just to have a little break. So I am quite honored, I would say, and also surprised about myself that I still actually get renewed for the MVP program, because despite some of the difficulties I've had last year, I still managed to contribute a little bit to the community, to the tech world. And I was able to do that because I am surrounded by wonderful people who always just stay positive around me. The ability to remind you without pushing you too much, or without being overbearing, but their presence inspires you to also join them and do something good for other people. It makes it so much more fun. Last year, I feel like I didn't do a lot in the community, but now looking back, we actually still managed to participate in some events and also speak at some conferences, and share my knowledge in a podcast, share some articles online. So despite of not being able to contribute as much as I wanted to last year, there's actually one thing really close to my heart, and that I'm really happy that I have the support system of a group of volunteers who can just keep us going. And that is ulap.org. Together with my co-founder, Mitch Tabirao, and our team, Hazel, our community manager, and all the new volunteers who are still joining us. We're a small community. Ulap.org is still, started. We are having so much fun pushing our advocacy of helping a few young people, kickstart their career in tech, especially around cloud, particularly Microsoft Azure. And now also this year, we're also having training on GitHub. So this year, we also decided to take in career shifters. So the last couple of weeks, and actually also today, I've had really, really meaningful conversations with scholars or applicants for the program. And for me, this is a really enlightening experience, and if not humbling, right? To get to know their stories. And I'm learning a lot from these young people who have had a lot of challenges to get into tech because of their unique circumstances, because they're underrepresented, because they don't have access to the right resources for learning and for improving their skills. And most especially because it's so hard for them to meet people that can help them to realize their potentials in tech. A lot of the people we meet in ulap.org are very, very passionate to build solutions that can be helpful to the society, but they don't have the tools. They don't have the network. They don't have the connections. And that for me is very important. That's what community is about. Just to meet like-minded people who would always give you good ideas, who would always give you feedback, who would always refer you to the right person who can help you, or send a link, or even just, if you follow them on their social media, you can see what they are learning, what they're working with. It's just a whole ecosystem that works. It's a system that works together to help you just grow. And when you are in an underrepresented group, or you have a lot of difficult circumstances to go through, you lack all this. You don't have access to all this. One thing is talking about that, but it's another thing to, to get to know these people face to face and hear their stories. And you sit and wonder, how can we change some of this? Obviously, a small community cannot change the entire industry, riddled with a lot of these problems and these challenges with diversity and accessibility. But still, me as an ordinary person working in tech, whenever I get to meet these people, and even though you're also struggling with your own things, you just sometimes also, it reminds you how lucky you are that you actually have the right environment and connection and tools to just always get better. You need to be able to share that in one way or another. And so that's why I think that even though it's hard to find time to do all these things for the community, you just gotta have to. But that's it's also important that that you have fun out of it. And that's why I'm thinking that even though it's hard and I have a lot of other priorities, and even though I did consider, or I still consider every now and then, to maybe leave tech for a while, sometimes, because I also have other things that I feel like I could do, or I can enjoy doing, like for example writing a novel. And then sometimes, because of some experiences, it gets very hard. You always have to, yeah, the industry sometimes can get very hard. You feel a little, you need a little break. So every time I feel like I need that break, and then I get to meet an angel in the community, whether it's a friend or a stranger, or just an influential person who's sharing their knowledge in social media. You get across these people around you, and then you get inspired, and then you think, okay, maybe I should stay. No, I want to stay, and then I want to stay in tech. And if I'm anyways staying in tech, then I want to make sure that I get to spend the rest of the time, or the luxury of time that I have, learning more, learning new things, even though I've been in the industry for 23 years, with things that's been happening around us within technology, with AI, and with all the fantastic developments in tech right now. Of course, we need to learn. So that's what I want to do. Now that I anyways decided to stay a little bit longer, then I want to spend my time learning about AI, particularly more AI engineering, more around cybersecurity, because I think that's going to be very important and relevant. Still honing my skill as an architect, and then sharing all this, sharing knowledge, and then of course ultimately still trying to build fun solutions that has positive impact to organizations and to the people who work in these organizations. Right. So I'm staying. Thanks for listening. Courtesy of my daughter. That's weird. Cut.